Microsat-R. On January 24, 2019, ISRO successfully propelled Microsat-R, an imaging satellite on board PSLV C-44. The satellite had a launch mass of 740 kilograms and orbits the Earth at a height of 274 kilometers, which was one of a kind, as it was just because ISRO utilized the last phase of the rocket as a stage to perform exploits in space. EMISAT. India's PSLV C-45 successfully injected EMISAT and 28 international customer satellites into their designated orbits. The PSLV C-45 lifted off at 9 hours 27 minutes on April 1, 2019 from the second launch pad of Satish Dhawan Space Center. The flight marked the first mission of PSLV-QL, a new variant of PSLV with 4 strap-on motors. About 17 minutes and 12 seconds after liftoff, EMISAT was successfully injected into intended sun-synchronous polar orbit of 748 km height. After separation of EMISAT, the vehicle's 4-stage engines were restarted twice to place the 28 international customer satellites precisely into sun-synchronous orbit of 504 km height. The last customer satellite was placed in its designated orbit 1 hour and 55 minutes after liftoff. About 3 hours after liftoff, the fourth satellite PS4 of the vehicle was moved into a lower circular orbit of 485 kilometers. About 3 hours after liftoff, the fourth stage PS4 of the vehicle was moved into a lower circular orbit of 485 kilometers. After 2 restarts to establish it as an orbital platform for carrying out experiments. RISAT-2B. RISAT-2B, a radar imaging satellite, is an Indian radar reconnaissance satellite that is part of India's RISAT program and the third satellite in the series. It is built by ISRO to replace RISAT-2. It was successfully launched by a PSLV C-46 rocket on 21st May 2019 from the first launch pad of Satish Dhawan Space Center. Cartosat-3. Cartosat-3 is an advanced Indian Earth observation satellite built and developed by ISRO, which will replace the IRS series. It has a panchromatic resolution of 0.25 meters, making it the imaging satellite with the highest resolution in the world. The MX of 1 meters with a high quality resolution, which is a major improvement from the previous payloads of Cartosat series. RISAT-2B R1, India's polar satellite launch vehicle, in its 50th flight, PSLV C-48 successfully launched RISAT-2B R1, an Earth observation satellite, along with 9 commercial satellites from Israel, Italy, Japan, and USA, from Satish Dhawan Space Center, Sriharikota. PSLV C-48 lifted off at 15:25 hours IST on December 11, 2019. From the first launch pad of Satish Dhawan Space Center, PSLV C-48 was 75th launch vehicle mission from Satish Dhawan Space Center. This was second flight of PSLV in QL configuration with 4 solid strap-on motors. About 16 minutes and 23 seconds after liftoff, RISAT-2B R1 was injected into an orbit of 576 kilometers at the inclination of 37 degrees to the equator. RISAT-2B R1 is a radar imaging Earth observation satellite weighing about 628 kilograms. The satellite will provide service in the field of agriculture, forestry, and disaster management. The mission life of RISAT-2B R1 is 5 years. The remaining 9 commercial satellites were also successfully injected into designated orbits. Chandrayaan-2 launched from Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota, India, from a geosynchronous satellite launch vehicle GSLV Mark III, India's most powerful rocket. On July 22, 2019, and reached lunar orbit in August 2019. During the September 6 moon landing attempt, ISRO officials lost contact with the Vikram moon lander, as the probe was just 2.1 kilometers above the lunar surface. Officials have been unable to reach the lander since losing contact on September 6. Chandrayaan-2 was the most complex mission ever attempted by the India's space agency. It is the beginning of a historical journey. ISRO's chief K. Sivan said after the launch in July, the lander, named Vikram after the founder of ISRO, carried within its belly a 27 kilograms moon rover with instruments to analyze the lunar soil. The rover, called Pragyan, meaning wisdom in Sanskrit, had a capacity to travel 500 meters from the lander in its 14-day lifespan and would have sent data and images back to the Earth for analysis. The mission would have focused on the lunar surface, searching for water and minerals and measuring moon quakes, among other things. The mission also made global headlines because it was so cheap. The budget for Avengers Endgame, for instance, was more than the double of an estimate of $356 million. But this wasn't the first time ISRO had been hailed for its thrift. In 2014, its Mars mission Mangalyaan cost just $74 million, a tenth of the budget of American Maven orbiter.